Hello, science friends. This is our weekly screencast. I'm going to be going through your work for this week. This week, we are starting to focus in on Pangea. So, we talked last week about some general information about the fossil record and how scientists go about finding information about the ancient world. And this week, we're really going to focus in on Pangea. And we're going to spend this week and next week going through and figuring out how did people figure out that 300 million years ago there was a supercontinent. We're going to be looking at all different types of evidence to really understand how they put together this puzzle to come up with this information. So that is our plan. This week, we're going to do a little bit more background information about Pangea, and then we're going to be looking at evidence from landforms and from fossils. Next week, we're going to continue on and we're going to look at evidence from climate and rock layers and glaciers before kind of putting it all together. So, our plan for the week, Monday, per usual, you have your Go Formative. On Tuesday, you're going to have a little bit of exploration time. Wednesday, you have your graph of the week. Thursday, you have IXL. And then on Friday, you have some catch-up time or some time for some other fun science activities. If you want to go back to the exploration, any of those things are available for you on Friday. So let's start with our Go Formative. So again, this is going to be a two-parter. Part 1 is this week. Part 2 is next week. So in this Go Formative, it's going to talk a little bit with some background information. Some of this we talked a little bit about in office hours, about how Pangea comes from the roots Pan and Gaia, meaning all Earth. We're going to talk about Alfred Wegener, who is the first person to come up with the theory of continental drift. We're going to look a little bit at some background information about what's actually going on inside our Earth that allows for these changes to happen. And then you're going to go into some evidence. You're going to look at evidence from landforms and evidence from fossils. So you're going to work on that on Monday. On Tuesday, what I want you to do on Tuesday is I want you to set a timer for 20 minutes. And I want you to spend 20 minutes looking at any of these links. There are some videos down here that kind of give you a time frame of Earth's history. This interactive globe, this is what I was playing with at the end of office hours last week, where you can type in a city and see how that city's location has changed over time. This is a fossil record activity, so similar to what we were doing last week in IXL. And then this, the PBS Eons, is a really great program on YouTube that does like real deep dives into ancient Earth's history, and I highly recommend it. They are very informative, and they can get very technical, so sometimes it can feel like the person is talking a lot of big words at you, but they have really interesting visuals, and especially if you come across an episode that seems like something you'd be interested in, I definitely recommend taking a look at these. They have a ton of different videos that are available to you, and if you find one about a creature that you enjoy or something that sounds like fun, sounds interesting, very, very well done. You can see they're all, around 10 minutes long. So maybe pick one and take a look at it on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you have your graph of the week. Same as last week. It's not I don't have a graph of the week that's based on Pangea, but a graph that I thought might be fun to take a look at. And keep up with our practicing reading of graphs. And then on Thursday, you're going to do another IXL. So it is in the fossil section. It is the compare fossils to modern organisms. I gotta say, this is a fairly complicated IXL. A lot of the questions have two parts to them. So in part one, you're going to be observing a fossil or a model of an extinct animal and selecting the traits that it has. And then in part two, you then take this ancient animal and compare it to modern animals. We will be going through a couple of these in office hours. So if you're finding them challenging, if you spend a few minutes on here and you're really having a hard time, please feel free to come chat at office hours. I will stress the 20 minutes or 80% SMART score with this. So if you are on here for 20 minutes and it's really frustrating, like, that's okay. I know this is kind of a more challenging activity. But, I also think it's nice to sometimes stretch ourselves, try something that might be a little bit harder, and, work those brain cells a little bit. That is the plan for the week. Just like last week, you can come to office hours on Tuesdays or Thursdays at 1 p.m. I expect to see you at one of those times. And I'm really enjoying hearing from you guys, reading your responses in the chats, seeing your faces has been so nice. So I'm really looking forward to doing that and seeing you guys then. If you have questions before then, please email me and I will be happy to chat with you. Hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you at office hours. Bye.